Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Bobby Experience.
Is it Bob E or Bobby? It's Bob E, right?
You can pronounce it either way. I mean, I put a spin on it where I write my name Bob, put a hyphen and E.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Right, so it can be unique, I guess, stick out. But
that's good.
But anyways, welcome everybody to the Bobby Experience. My guest today is someone that could be seen on an episode of Chicago Fire. It's Chicago Fire, right?
Yeah. It's a small part though. Yeah.
Hey, a small part. I mean, in a way, there's no small parts, right?
Yeah. Well, in Chicago, it's pretty much what we have to deal with. So we're lucky to have that. Yeah. Those are the ones we're always auditioning for. Yeah.
Right. Please welcome Jimmy Chung.
No. Hi, everybody.
All right. Jimmy, the first question I'd like to ask is, how'd you get your start in acting?
It wasn't intentional. I actually started as if you want to go way back, I was a musician, like a rock musician in the Northeast. And then when that kind of ran its course, I came back here, kept doing more music. And then, I started in sleight of hand, actually, and more magic. And I would practice that day in and day out, just to kind of pass the time, having been from the Northeast, having nothing going on. So I would do a lot of comedy clubs and things like that, and I would get introduced to people, other comedians who were also actors, and they're like, hey, we need someone that does card handling for an audition. So I would go into those one-off auditions for things like card handling or things like that. And then all of a sudden I found myself here doing more auditions for more serious roles. Yeah.
You know, if I remembered you did magic when I first remember meeting you at an audition we were at, I would have asked you to perform a trick on today's episode, but maybe next time.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to ask you, do you remember how we first met? It wasn't an audition.
It wasn't?
No. I don't know if
Because the first time I do remember you was... So when was it?
See, you don't remember, Bob, and I'm a little hurt.
Oh, man.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so the very first time we met, we were extras on a short film.
Oh.
Okay.
It wasn't an audition. Yeah, it was...
No, we were performing, and we were a few of the people that are still acting to this day that you're probably friends with were in that as well. We all kind of grown in our separate directions. But you, I think, were sitting next to me. We're on a break, and we're sitting next to each other, and I was fiddling around with cards, and you were like, hey, what are you doing? And we would show each other stuff with cards. Do you remember that?
So that was the first time.
That was the very first time, yeah.
Yeah, but I can't remember what it was, though.
I remember. Okay, let's see if I jog your memory. It was a huge brass instrument or orchestra setting for this film, and we were extras in the back. Do you remember this? The film never got made, I'm sure, and I'm sure it was bad and terrible, but that's where we first met.
I remember that, I thought it was an audition what it was.
It might as well have been. The film never got made. So.
Because we got a mutual friend now. I know, that we first made, that was mutual from that audition. And, he always posts about, some stuff he's doing on stage and film. I can't even remember his name now, but I know if I scroll through my media, we'll see, who he was. But I thought that was an audition, that I remembered as being, no, it was... So we were extras.
Yeah, but then we
extras.
Connected, I think, in Facebook years later. So we didn't even connect then. We met each other then, and we just kind of remembered each other, and here we are now. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So it turns out I remembered it wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remembered it wrong. Big time. You have no idea when we met. Still hurts. Proceed.
Yeah. Well, I hope to make it up for you sometime. Somewhat
better.
Right. But relating to you being a magician, if you could, would you ever want to perform in Las Vegas like David Copperfield or?
Oh man,
I guess.
Yeah, so I think that would be awesome. Of course, there's a ton of magicians out there perform. But the thing is, it's not all just big shows. It's really intimate, close-up style, which is more my thing. So yeah, one day if I could perform out there, it'd be awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Who are some of your favorite actors and directors?
Oh man. That is a good question. I'm not really one to rattle off a whole bunch of names. I actually don't watch too many movies, unfortunately. I'm more into TV. Okay. You know what show I'm really into right now? Is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Have you ever seen that show?
Is that one with, is it Angela? Adam Sandberg. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of another show. I know what you're talking about.
It's a comedy, yeah.
To tell you the truth, right now I just have Netflix and YouTube. Just to save up, I don't have a cable TV right now.
Yeah, that's all you need, really. It's on Hulu. Actually, it's where I watch it. I don't think anyone watches TV anymore. It's everything's on your phone and whatever. So, but it's a great show. I love. I just like that show. It's so well done. It's something I've never seen before in terms of how funny it is and how well it's done. As far as like my all-time favorite actors, had to be like Jim Carrey. One of my favorite directors is let's see, Soderbergh, who directed Contagion, only because I met him in person, which is really cool.
Nice.
So yeah, not too many, but I love them all, man. They're all doing something that's bigger than me, and I admire them all, really. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as we mentioned before, you are on an episode of Chicago Fire. I know you said that it's what you call a small part, but
Oh yeah.
are you able to tell us like has the episode come out yet, or what your part is?
Yeah, it hasn't. I don't know if it's come out yet. I was supposed to ask around to see if anyone knew anything about it, but I didn't have the heart to go around set asking like, "Hey, do you know when this episode's gonna come out?" I just feel it's a little unprofessional, but I don't think it is. What's the big deal about asking around? Who cares? I should have done that. Now I have no idea, but I think that was when I was in the Chicago Med section of Chicago Fire. So like these shows all kind of cross over, which is kind of cool. So I wasn't like a firefighter or someone dying in a fire or anything like that, which would have been pretty cool. I was more an MRI technician on Chicago Med, helping out a firefighter from Chicago Fire.
Nice.
Yeah. Small part,
Right.
but still very competitive, this market.
Right. I mean, the fact that you landed a role and you got a speaking role, that's where I think a lot of us who are in the industry here in the Chicago market, we're trying to land a role on one of these big name NBC or Fox shows. Yeah, Empire's on Fox.
Yeah.
And, the rest of them.
Which you've auditioned for many times.
Yeah. Collectively, I've auditioned. That's what I've been trying to get on, going to Simon Casting and trying to get a part of one of those shows. But I just give you props. I applaud you to be able to. Congratulations to be able to land a role on one of those shows.
Thanks, man.
Not everyone here in Chicago, most folks, I think, can say that they got a part on that show. So
Yeah, but it's tough. I've been auditioning for those shows, all those shows collectively, for years. And the thing is, once you get it, like that's it. You can't go out for those shows anymore for years after that because you've already gotten a part. And now that they all cross over, that applies to all of them. So, and I've gotten like close where I've been on hold or check avail, what they call it, and then at the last minute get cut out. You know, it's like, hey, sorry. Maybe they casted somebody else that wasn't a good match to my part, so they have to let you go. So that's happened many times, and as they say, it's part of the business. You just kind of got to get through that, and I didn't know that I was gonna get this part. I just kind of went out for it, did the best I could, and that part matched my personality the most. So there was less acting involved, I guess. So I ended up getting it. So who knows what the real reason was? I don't know.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations again. I mean, hopefully I can, catch the episode that you're in, spot you, maybe even take a picture. But for all those people watching who are performers, whether they're actors or people that are on stage or do both, what advice would you say you'd like to give them?
I guess I'm only qualified to give advice to people who are truly, really starting out. I'm not going to just tout advice. I don't really know. Everyone's different. But let's say you knew nothing and you were just had an inkling of getting into acting. Well, then I have some advice, I guess. My first advice is don't get an agent right away, because I think that's the misconception. Is like, oh, I'm gonna do the acting. I'm gonna get an agent right away. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not ready for an agent. Agent's not gonna pick you up, and yet you're gonna mar your reputation because you're simply not ready. You have to do a lot of things that we did, which was independent films, and screw up, and look stupid, and have projects not get made, and have bad scripts, and work with other actors that you don't like. That's the experience you need, so that when you finally do meet an agent, you're more confident. You say, I've been here before, this is not a big deal. And not every agent's going to take you, and that's not the whole point anyway. All you need is really one good one that believes in you, and yeah, and that's that. Even if you get an agent right off the bat, it doesn't mean you're going to get the auditions, so you're really doing yourself a disservice by jumping the gun. You need to just kind of do it because you love it, ease your way in, and meet people like yourself, and just kind of hold each other accountable. Yeah, so that's what I would suggest. Don't jump the gun, take it slow.
Now that you mentioned that, one of the things I like about being here in Chicago and being in this industry is that we're supportive of each other. You know,
Yeah.
and it's because it's, I guess, what you call a small market, a small world. We know a lot of mutual friends, people, colleagues, and we can spread the word amongst each other, you know, amongst, you know, filmmakers and other actors that, you know, they have a project coming up.
Actually, you're always doing that. You used to. I remember he used to always post things on Facebook saying, "Hey, this is for another Asian guy or whatever, another woman that can take this part," and you have nothing to gain by doing that, and you just do that anyway. I've never done that, and so I mean that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's the first thing I would think of if you want to talk about supporting one another. You're giving opportunities to other people, so that's really cool.
Right, and I just want to say that being jealous or bitter of other people's success in anything is just is toxic.
Yeah,
It's not helpful, and
it may feel good at first. I'm just kidding.
right. Yep.
Yeah, I know, man. It's I think I don't know how do you get past that. Have you know when you do feel that bubbling up? Are you just so pure that you never feel that? Give me a break.
I mean, we're human.
Yeah.
I mean, of course we can congratulate somebody, but then I'm pretty sure some folks are gonna think, oh, when am I gonna get my big break?
Of course, yeah.
That's how some people feel. Is there anyone you'd like to send a shout out to before we go? Or something else I want to ask too is like, do you have any upcoming projects? Any thing that we can see you in on stage or TV or coming up, or in some independent films?
Not really. I just finished just some projects here and there, but nothing that's really gonna be out seen by anybody. I'm always still auditioning, just like you. And in fact, the very first thing that was told to me after I finished Chicago Fire is congratulations, you're unemployed again. So it's always about the next project, and you're never done. So yeah, I'm always just auditioning for whatever job that comes next, and we'll see. It's up to me to try my best, but I can't get too worried about it. You know what I mean? So I think this is good for me too, talking to you about it, because we can stay grounded. And it's not the end of the world whether we get a job or not. So, yeah. I don't know what projects are coming up, but if I do, I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you want to say hey to before we sign off?
I will say hey to all you Bob E. Viewers out there. Please subscribe to his channel. He's doing awesome things for all the Chicagoland actors. And I personally watch his channel, so where else can you find something like this, right? Yeah. Hey, everybody.
All right, Jimmy, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me. Please have me back again. I volunteered myself to come back here.
Thank you. And next time we have you on the show, we got to have you perform a trick.
Okay, that sounds good.
And talk about like some upcoming, the next project that you have going on.
Okay, I'll be sure to get a project done.
Okay. Well, this is Bobby with the Bobby Experience. This is Jimmy, and we'll be signing off. See you on the next episode. Take care.
Bye.
Peace.